Hello and welcome to episode 15 of the Purl and Jane design vlog. Now, in the last video I did, I talked about this one, the Jerry hoodie, and I said I was about to get it on the website. It is on the website now, so it's available to download on the Purl and Jane website. I will be putting it on Ravelry. Haven't done that yet, but it will. I haven't done that at the time of recording. It's also available as a printed pattern if you're near Skipton and you want to pop into the studio, so it's available as a printed pattern too. Now, I had someone pop in today to ask if this was unisex because she wanted to knit this for her grandson. This is an original. This is an updated version of an original design I did way back in 2008 for the American market, way back when digital patterns weren't a thing, so it was available in an old-fashioned book. So this is the original, and I designed it for a gentleman. So I've just updated it with ribbing at the bottom, because some people don't like a rolled edge. I love a rolled edge, so if you still want to have a rolled edge, just don't do the ribbing at the bottom. And in this version I put some short sleeves in, but in the printed in the download pattern, in the new digital single pattern, there is long sleeve version as well, so you can knit it with the long sleeves as well if you fancy. And then I just gave it a little placket here, just to make it easier to get on and off over the head. You can make that shorter if you wanted, so it's a bit more closer up there if that is what you so wished. So this is definitely a unisex jumper if you fancy doing that for yourself. So whatever you identify as, this is the perfect jumper for you. So that's that one done. The next one that I need to sort out is this tank top. Now, when I design, so this one I knitted this myself, but I like my patterns to be really simple and easy to follow, so you can sit down and just relax with the knitting. So both of these are ribbed, but I have what's called a row off. So on the right side you just knit, so you can sit back and relax and just knit, and then on the other side is variations of knit and purl. So great for beginners if you want to bring some purl into your knitting, because you only have to do that on one row out of two. You got to repeat it. And for experienced knitters, it's just a really great, what I call a refresh knitting, something that you can just knit in between the more complicated knitting if you so fancy. So I knit it and then I write the pattern, and then I'll get someone to knit the pieces like a test knit to make sure it's all easy to follow and everything's happening as I want it to. And then I will sew it up, so they'll come back in pieces like this, and then I will finish off the edges, so pick up the stitches for the neck and sew it together. Now, years ago, before I had the studio, I worked for an American company and I designed books for them. And one year I did, I don't know, 10 books or something like that. So I did 200 garments, and I sewed up all of those garments, because there's several reasons why. Because sewing up a garment or joining a garment together really makes it. And also it's great for me to see how people are approaching my patterns and what they actually knit. And there's no better way to get to know how something has been knitted as if is when you're sewing it together, you're joining it together. It also means that I write my patterns with, so these are in pieces that you have to join. So I write my patterns so that they can be joined together easily. So I do it so there is a nice edge to do the mattress stitch. So here I just make sure that there's a good stocking stitch edge there, which will go in line with the pattern, so it makes it really easy to join. So here we'll just join the shoulders and then there's a nice straight seam at the side, because I get it that for some people just sewing up patterns is I understand that. And there's so many brilliant top-down patterns that you can knit. I've done a few as well. I need to write that one up, that's a top-down, and there's Clacton jumper, that's a top-down jumper. And yeah, it's so quick and easy. You can just knit the jumper and you don't have to worry about sewing up. But there are loads of beautiful patterns out there which are in pieces, and there is a defense for piece knitting in that a seam just creates structure and stability. But I do understand that for some of you, like, no, because yes, I love sitting down and knitting something. This, I think this was needed to be sewn up for about 18 months while I did other things. So I do understand it, but I do like to write my patterns so they are easy to sew up. So it's easy to pick up the next stitches, because it's not always easy. And then the shoulder seams, they're always straight because your shoulders will naturally stoop. So that means this shoulder seam, because it's not stepped, won't have any holes in it. So it'll be another nice way to sew up. So that's that. that's little chat. So I did these videos to help me finish things off. So to help me sew up garments. So these have been back a week, I think, about a week, and they are easy to sew up. Can you see that I have not sewn them up? What have I done instead? Well, I've cast on something else. Not supposed to be doing this. This is a new idea that I've got, and then I've cast on something else, and this is for something new. And no, the reason why I do this is to stop me casting on. Oh, and then I did another little sample for a crochet idea. No. It should be sewing up and finishing off. But this is something that has been again knitted in pieces by someone, and I joined it together, joined it together, and then sorted out the neckline. And this neckline, while mathematically it looks beautiful on the pattern because it's mathematically correct and it just makes it easy to write, it's too tight, it's too short. So I'm gonna have to take this back and put it down lower to make the v-neck. So this is a new design coming, but I have to take it down, which means I have to undo all these things. So like knitters, I'm like, I got to undo this. I've done all this. I've got to take it back to down here. So I've put that to one side, and I've cheered myself up by casting on, crocheting, casting on new things, just to prepare me for sorting that out. Okay, so hopefully next time that I speak to you, I will have finished something and knitted a little bit more of the something else, because that's why I'm doing these, to get on top of all the unfinished pieces. I'm just a knitter like everyone else. Okay, let's see what happens next week. Bye.